Now, there's just over a week to go before one of the most controversial presidential elections in US history. There have been personal insults and shocking revelations from both candidates, but according to the Pew Research Center, as always, the economy remains the most important issue among voters. So here on Money Talks, as we count down to November 8th, we're taking a closer look at what ordinary Americans are saying about their jobs, incomes and taxes, because what they say will help decide who gets the most powerful job on earth, and that matters to every one of us. Over the next 8 days, our senior business producer Azar Sukri will be traveling through the heart of America, from North to South Dakota and Iowa, one of the battleground states that will be pivotal in the outcome of the vote. But he begins his journey in New York and the epicenter of global capitalism, Wall Street.
It's a little bit more than a kilometre long, but the trillions of dollars that flow through here every single day determine the fortunes of billions of people from around the world and right here in the United States. But ever since the 2008 financial crisis, millions of Americans have been feeling that they will never be able to tap into this vast river of money that flows through Wall Street. Since the crisis, though, there has been a fairly strong recovery. About 3.5 million people have been able to climb out of poverty. But much more still needs to be done. When it comes to jobs lost overseas, both Trump and Clinton have fairly similar views. They both say they can raise employment by getting tough on countries like China and American companies that move abroad.
Because we're going to bring our jobs back to New York. We're going to bring our jobs back to our country, but we're going to bring our jobs back to New York.
If we make it easier to bring jobs back from America than it is to send jobs out of America, we can see the results.
They both blame decades of policies geared towards freeing up global trade and lowering barriers.
Globalization has made the financial elite who donate to politicians very, very wealthy. I used to be one of them.
Now, when it comes to trade, China is by far the worst rule breaker in the world. It dumps cheap products in our markets, subsidizes state-owned enterprises who undersell in the global market to hurt our companies, and it discriminates against American companies.
But one area where the two candidates are sharply divided is over taxation. Clinton wants to reduce the gap between rich and poor, now at its widest in decades, by raising taxes on the wealthy. Trump wants to achieve the same result by doing the opposite and cutting taxes and simplifying the taxation system.
We're going to cut the individual rates from 7 brackets to 4. Simplification.
While many of you are working multiple jobs to make ends meet, you see the top 25 hedge fund managers making more than all of America's kindergarten teachers combined, and often paying a lower tax rate.
The wages of ordinary Americans have barely budged in recent years, but company profits and their share prices, traded right here on Wall Street, have been surging, at times to record highs. Both Trump and Clinton say they have the right formula to restore the American dream, which for millions of Americans has become something of a nightmare. The people of this country will have to decide soon which of these two visions to follow. Azar Sukri, TRT World, New York.